Hi, hola a todos. Tengan cada una y uno de ustedes una muy linda tarde. Hola, Cari.
Hola,
Bienvenida,
Pato. Muchas
bienvenida al
gracias.
especial del día de hoy. Hoy es 10
Bien.
años de la comunidad astronómica aficionada chilena. Y en esta seguidilla de charlas, muy lindas a todo esto, ya la última que tuvimos con la profesora Elisa de Villanueva, nada que decir, lejos una maravillosa aproximación a lo que se hace en la red de profesores. Pero el día de hoy, también dentro del mundo de la astronomía y de la divulgación, con Cari les tenemos una sorpresa. ¿Qué o no, Cari?
Sí, de hecho, hoy día tenemos una charla, creo que es primera vez que vamos a tener una charla en otro idioma, vamos a tener una charla en inglés, donde con el Pato vamos a tratar de estarlos apoyando con la traducción para quienes no puedan seguir. Lamentablemente no pudimos contar con subtítulos, hicimos todo lo posible, pero vamos a ir tratando nosotros hacer las traducciones. Mándenos todas sus preguntas, tenemos un invitado, pero wow, de verdad que
Sí, de verdad.
gracias al staff de la Cacha ahí jugándosela full para poder conseguir estos invitados internacionales de renombre, y tenemos a un gran hombre, fundador de una compañía mundialmente conocida. Él es Scott Roberts. Y Pato, cuéntanos más sobre Scott.
¡Wow! Bueno, Scott Roberts ya había hablado hace un tiempo con él, y si bien él ha trabajado como astrónomo desde el año 80, ya nos dimos cuenta que nos mostró sus fotos con Buzz Aldrin de la NASA. Nos ha mostrado todo lo que hace a nivel de telescopios y divulgación. Él
La foto
es
con Richard Nixon.
la foto con Richard Nixon. Y también, si es que no, él es uno de los principales divulgadores del área de astronomía, no solo profesional, sino que aficionada en los Estados Unidos, trabajando en conjunto con NASA y con su propia empresa, ¿no? De Explore Scientific, donde de hecho ahí les podemos dejar los datos y la página web para que puedan acceder a toda la información que él tiene sobre telescopios, sobre oculares, sobre astrofotografía, microscopios, incluso todo lo que vendría siendo la metodología STEM para lo que es la nueva, ¿no? Maravillosa, una de las tantas formas que tenemos los profesores de ciencia al momento de construir nuevo conocimiento científico escolar. Pero sin más preámbulo, ahora vamos a cambiar el switch. Vamos a hacer un pequeño cambio de idioma.
Ahí vamos a estar apoyando. Primero, yo quería ver que viéramos algunos saluditos antes de que cambiemos de
Sí,
idioma.
me parece.
Vamos a ir
Oye, pero
pinchando ahí.
saludos desde Venezuela. La profesora Elizabeth,
Un
gran profesora.
abrazo, Eli.
Un abrazo para Eli, ¿cierto? Ídola. ¿Mm? Saludos desde La Serena. Claro, High Duck. Claro, claro.
Starman.
El pato. Me pusieron Duck. Saludos desde Coquimbo.
La
Ay, la profe
Chio.
Chio-chan. Starman ahí saludando desde Coronel, ¿no? Saludando desde San Fernando y desde Salamanca. ¡Wow! Tenemos harta gente entonces el día de hoy. Bueno, sin más preámbulo, hoy desde
Vamos a
Popayán,
lo que nos convoca. Vamos a lo
vamos
que
a lo
nos
que nos convoca.
convoca.
Sí, sí, les
Saludos a
presento.
todos.
Saludos a todas, a todos. Les deseo, por favor, les pido por favor que disfruten de esta charla, que hagan todas las preguntas que estimen convenientes. Nosotros vamos a hacer el apoyo con la traducción y con la divulgación. Y sin más preámbulo, muchas gracias a todas y todos por estar acá. Scott, are you ready?
Always.
Oh, awesome. Nice to meet you now.
Nice to meet all of you too. It's so great to be here with your club. I have, Patricio and I have been talking a little bit before this program, and I had mentioned to him that I have been to Chile before, and it's a wonderful country. I haven't seen all of it. I've been in the airport in Santiago and La Serena, but spent some time in Vicuña and at the CTIO Observatory for the 2019 total eclipse. We were doing a video broadcast from CTIO, and that broadcast was transmitted to NASA and to other news stations around the world from the Exploratorium Museum Eclipse Team.
Thank you so much.
Vamos a hacer la traducción. Scott nos cuenta que estuvo el 2019 para hacer la transmisión en vivo directo para la NASA desde el Cerro Tololo, desde el telescopio y el observatorio Cerro Tololo, haciendo la transmisión en vivo para la NASA durante 2019. Así que nos cuenta que ahí conoció Santiago, el aeropuerto, Vicuña, y obviamente ahí también La Serena dentro de la región. Así que nos está contando su incursión. Lo vamos a dejar invitadísimo también a volver en todo caso.
Of course, certainly. We'll say, Scott, that we will be so honored to have you here in Chile soon.
I hope so. Yes.
And to try to know you, to the whole audience will be know you.
Mm-hmm.
We have a few questions to start.
Sure.
Well, the first question will be, there will be this one. No, that will be that one. Who is Bob Roberts?
Sometimes that sounds very easy, but try to get deeper. We really want to get to know Scott Roberts.
Okay, so like friends. Okay, all right. Okay. So if you want to know who I am, and I'm introducing myself, first off, I would tell you that. As an amateur astronomer, I've always loved the stars. It started when I was a little boy. And one of my first memories, and this had to be about 3 years old. I have a very early memory in childhood. My first memory of all is I'm about one and a half years old. Okay. So I have a very early memory. At about 3 years old, I remember playing with my toys in the kitchen, and outside the screen door, the door that's not glass, but it has the screen to keep out insects. I remember I'm looking at a bright star. I don't know what it is. Okay. But at the time I see this bright light and it's making these spikes like a cross. Okay. And this really captivates me. And I asked my mom, what is this? And she told me, she said, it's a star, The light was so bright as shining through the screen that it was making a diffraction spike. I didn't know that at the time. But I think that I was probably looking at Venus because it was, the sun had already set, and it was starting to get dark. And Venus is so bright that I believe I was seeing Venus at this time. About 3 years old. It's still a memory that's vivid in my mind. Okay. I grow up, my father's in the military. He's a Navy SEAL. So he dives a lot. He is an adventurer. This always made me feel like I want to explore something as a child. But I'm growing up during the Apollo time. Okay. I was born in 1959. So by the time that the Apollo program is going, is in my childhood. And I remember very clearly that every time that the Apollo missions would go, that in our schools, they would bring out televisions and we would watch, they would have the whole school watch these programs. So you can imagine, I mean, today we have astronauts in space 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Today we are a spacefaring species. We're always in space. We don't just live here on Earth. We also live in space. And but at that time, for someone to go to space was extremely special. And very dangerous, situation too, because there had been many accidents leading up to Apollo, and so the astronauts during the Mercury and Gemini programs had to be very brave to get into these capsules and to, hope that the rocket did not explode on the launch pad, so,
Wow.
right?
That's wow.
Yes. So
Can I say
this
that?
it was very, very special. And of course, I'm very interested. I love to look at stars even as a child. But now they're telling us that we're going to go to the moon, and to go to the moon. Oh, my God, this was not only blowing children's minds, but everybody's mind that men would actually go to the moon, so.
That was quite a challenge.
Yeah. So I'll let you translate from here a little bit.
Bueno,
Thank you.
en un principio lo que nos cuenta Scott es que él sus primeros recuerdos fueron su primer recuerdo tiene desde que tenía 1 año y medio de edad, pero un recuerdo muy claro relacionado con la astronomía fue cuando tenía 3 años. Dice que recuerda que él estaba jugando con sus juguetes cerca de la cocina y de pronto vio por la ventana una luz muy brillante que dice que la difracción de la luz, las puntitas que destellaba, a él le llamaron mucho la atención y la mamá le explicó que era una estrella. Lo que él cree hoy en día es que por el brillo que emitía puede haber sido Venus, porque era muy, muy brillante. Y ahí también nos cuenta que su papá era militar y que por lo mismo él también creció con estas ganas de siempre estar explorando, estar descubriendo.
Ese sentido de la aventura.
Exacto. Dale tu Pato, ayúdame ahí con el resto de la traducción.
En base con este sentido de la aventura que nos presenta Scott, también nos muestra que él creció, o sea, si pensemos que él nació en el 58, o sea, toda su infancia fue fue actualizada o fue dentro del contexto de la carrera espacial. Entonces, toda la gente en esa época se juntaba en las escuelas, en los distintos centros comunitarios, a ver los programas Apolo lanzarse. Y lograban también situarse en el hecho de que había que ser muy valiente, hay que ser muy valiente para ser astronauta, pero más aún en aquella época. Porque claro, ahora tenemos en la Estación Espacial Internacional gente todos los días en el espacio. Pero en esa época era un viaje que muchas personas no lo contaron. Mucha gente fue, pero no volvió. Entonces, en base a eso, el sentido del riesgo y el honor que eso implicaba era, si es que no, graficar que las personas que querían ir al espacio tenían que ser, a modo de encontrar otro término más correcto, pero muy geniales, ¿no? Tendrían que ser personas muy calificadas. So, Scott,
okay.
You can keep going.
Okay. Okay. You can imagine. I'm as a young child, I'm watching every aspect of the Apollo missions, and I would draw spacecraft. I would make models of rockets. I flew model rockets, that would fly. I became very, very, very interested in wanting to get my first telescope because I too want to see the moon, so I still have my very first telescope. This is it right here.
Oh, but it's so sweet.
So this this telescope is from 1970.
From 1970.
Okay. 70. Wow.
1970. Yes. I got it when I was 10 years old.
So sweet that you still have it.
Yes.
And you have it in perfect conditions.
My parents kept, they bought it for me after I begged and begged and begged my parents for a telescope. And this is what they bought for me. At this time, this telescope cost about $17.50. Okay.
$17.50.
$17.50.
In 1970.
In 1970, yes.
And God,
now. So my first views of the moon, and this is the first thing I could find with it, were amazing to me, and you know, that combined with all the news about landing on the moon and the Apollo program and all of this was really amazing. You know, so after this experience and observing with my telescope, you know, I go through my elementary school years. I go into junior high. My exposure to optics made me very interested in photography. So like Carrie, okay, I became a professional photographer, and I did lots of different kinds of photography. I had, you know, Carrie, do you know about the old type of photography where you had the 8x10 sheets of film, and you know, I had a Hasselblad system, and I did darkroom work, and I taught photography. I did that for many years until I reached about 20 years old, and then I was reintroduced to telescopes. But this time, the telescopes are bigger and more serious telescopes. And I'm working in a camera store in California. I'm working in a camera store, and we start to sell telescopes. And I did not know how interested people were, really. I did not know anything very well in the sky. I knew how to find the moon. I could show you the Ursa Major. That was it. That was all my knowledge right there. But but I found that people love to look through a telescope, and so I started to learn step by step how to use a telescope and how and what people were interested in seeing through a telescope. And so this was the first my first steps. I even started an astronomy club during this time. And so this is about this goes from about 1980 until about 1985.
Yeah.
Okay. So this camera store where I work is close to Palomar Observatory. And just north is Los Angeles and Pasadena. And in Pasadena is the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL.
Yeah, in Caltech?
Okay. And so I started at this time, although I still don't know a lot about astronomy yet, I start inviting people from the professionals from the observatory.
Yeah.
And scientists from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
Oh, God.
Okay. To come and give lectures and to educate my customers. And this was a very, very exciting time because in 1985, Halley's Comet is coming. Halley's Comet. Okay. And so it's a very, very special, exciting time in astronomy because this special comet is coming. So I will let you translate from here.
Okay. Cari, ¿empiezas tú?
Sí, que bueno, lo que él nos cuenta es que él creció como niño viendo las misiones del Apolo 11, soñando con ver la luna, la dibujaba, hacía modelos, hasta que le rogó mucho, mucho, mucho a sus padres, hasta que a los 10 años logró que sus papás les compraran un telescopio, que es el que nos mostraba que tiene ahí justo al lado de él, el blanquito pequeño. De hecho, nos contaba que costaba $17.50, súper económico, y esto fue en el año 1970, cuando él tenía 10 años. Bueno, y él quería ver la luna y dice que eso fue algo que marcó un antes y un después en su vida cuando ya empezó a lograr ver la luna por sus propios medios con su propio telescopio. Bueno, nos cuenta que después siguió avanzando en este mundo de la astronomía, donde luego se convirtió en fotógrafo. De hecho, se convirtió en fotógrafo profesional con un sistema Hasselblad, donde era con fotografía análoga, y él enseñaba fotografía. Dice que durante varios años estuvo dedicándose a esto, hasta que después empezó ya a entrar, entiendo que fue que entró a un club de astronomía, esto ya cerca del año 1980.
Exacto, cerca del 1980 entró justo a un club de astronomía que tenía en su mismo trabajo, porque mucha gente iba emocionada por la idea de que también, aparte de vender fotografías o vender los revelados, sí, estoy hablando de esa época, de la época de los revelados de fotografía, empezó a vender telescopios, del mismo tipo pequeño, discreto, sencillo. Y resulta que mucha gente estaba interesada, mucha gente estaba emocionada con el tema de los telescopios, con el tema de la astronomía, hasta que fundó un club en conjunto con dos instituciones. ¿Cuáles serían, mi querida Cari? Se me olvidó.
Las instituciones, una era del laboratorio que estaba en Caltech.
Sí.
Con este club de astronomía, donde él en verdad lo que estaba buscando era educar a sus clientes, porque además entiendo que en la tienda, además de cámaras fotográficas, estaban vendiéndose telescopios, pero estaba esta de repente deficiencia que la gente en el uso por parte de las personas. Así que él lo que quería era educar a sus clientes en astronomía y en el uso de los telescopios. Y que además, en esa época, justo el año 1985, pasaba el cometa Halley, que ya era uno de los hitos, pero...
Claro, que fue el hito de la época. Estamos hablando que después de la llegada del hombre a la luna era la observación del cometa Halley.
Exacto.
Entonces, como era una época muy excitante, muy interesante, estaba la oportunidad ideal de educar a las personas respecto a la astronomía, ¿ya? Lo que nosotros ahora en Chile tuvimos con los eclipses, ¿no? 2019-2020, en esta época tecnológica maravillosa y avanzada, justo en 1985, con la llegada de los grandes medios de comunicación, tenían el cometa Halley a su disposición. Scott.
Qué maravilla ver el cometa Halley. Please proceed.
That would be amazing to see the Halley comet.
It was beautiful. I had one very extraordinary time. You know, I would tell my friends that if they want to do, if they want to see amazing things, that even if it's bad weather, that they should try to go and see something that like amazing, like Halley's Comet. Halley's Comet was predicted to be at its best observing time in California on this particular night. But what happened is that a storm came in and it started raining.
Okay.
No.
And all my friends were very disappointed, you know, and I'm saying, we're going to go out and we're going to observe this. And I'm getting phone calls who are saying, no, Scott, it's raining. I'm canceling. And I go,
oh, that's some.
But two of my friends said, well, what are we going to do? And I said, hey, I don't know what you guys are going to do, but I'm going out observing. Okay. So I have at this time, I have a 13-inch telescope. Okay.
Okay.
And my telescope I would put on top of my car. I wish I had a photograph of this. I don't. But I would put on top of my car. And I was also, I used to be a surfer. Okay. So the surfers, you know, they use racks to put their surfboards on top of the car. I put my telescope on top of the car with surf racks.
Really?
Okay?
That's amazing. Okay.
So it looked like the car looked like it had a jet engine on top of it. Okay. From this big telescope. And so I'm driving through the rain. My telescope's getting wet. Okay.
Okay.
And I drive till I get to this one spot a little bit higher on the hill. And I go, okay, I'm going to get out. I can't drive any further. I thought maybe because I was going east, I thought I could beat the rain, you know. The storms in California come from the coast, which is on the west, and they move across to the east. And I thought, okay, I can beat it. I wasn't able to beat it. Okay. So I get out anyways, and I set up my telescope, and it's raining, and water is going down the tube, and water is getting on the mirror.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I put in my eyepiece anyways, and I'm wet. My two friends are wet. Okay. And what happens, and this is a true story, what happens is that the clouds separate around this one area right around where Halley's Comet was.
No
way.
Yes.
Really? That's amazing.
And I look at it, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. The best view, because I've been watching it since about 1985. Okay. And you know, so from 85 to 86 is the time that Halley's Comet came. But I got to see the long tail. I got to see all of its beauty. And my friends looked and I looked. And after we saw it, we go, we're amazed, and the clouds just closed up, and that was it.
That might be the
But
biggest
we got to see Hallie's comment.
lucky. That must be the
Yeah,
biggest
so you should
luck ever.
always go out, and no matter what the weather is like, you know, you should try to see something, especially if it's only going to happen that one time. So if it's an eclipse, if it is something that's only going to happen for that one night, you have to go. You have to try, because you don't know what the weather is going to do, and you might get lucky. Okay. And we got lucky.
Worth to live with me.
Well, you know, actually, exactly the same happened to us with the last solar eclipse. The weather was so bad. It was so cloudy and rainy, and many people actually didn't went to the Araucanía region where the total eclipse was, and many people didn't go because no, it's going to be bad weather. It's going to be rainy. I don't want to go. I don't want to waste my time. Many people
don't want to waste my time. Yeah,
exactly. But when we were there, because I was making photos, obviously, and we were struggling against the weather. Finally, during the total eclipse, tell me,
in that time, only in the total eclipse,
it opened up.
They open up.
No?
And Kari, and I'm quite sure about that, Kari took so nicest pictures about the eclipse.
Congratulations.
Eventually.
No, but it was so difficult because it was so cloudy. The clouds didn't want to go away. So I was just shooting, like shooting, photo, because I knew that in maybe some moment I could have the total. But yeah, it was so difficult. But it was exactly the same. You needed to be in there waiting for it.
You have to be there.
Exactly.
Yes. And wait, and have a little bit hope. A little bit of hope.
If it doesn't work out, okay, you come home, no problem, you know? Okay.
But you try. You try. And in both of your cases, you succeeded.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's it's what Scott is saying, is that try, go, and even try it harder if it's a one-time thing.
It's one time, you got to try. Yes. Yeah. That's right. That's right. So,
la gran lección aquí es intentarlo. Cuando ustedes hagan observación, cuando ustedes hagan algo relacionado con astronomía, inténtenlo. No se dejen llevar porque esté nublado, porque se vea lluvia. Siempre va a haber un lapso, un momento en el que si ustedes lo intentan y se quedan y son constantes y perseverantes, van a ver algo hermoso después de todo esto. Van a ver algo hermoso. Lo que a Scott le pasó con el cometa Halley en el 85-86, ellos estaban en California, donde, claro, California, todo bonito, todo hermoso, todos los días estaban despejados y justo el día en el que sucede la aparición del cometa Halley, se pone a llover. Y llueve, pero Scott no se rindió. No, dijo no, vamos. Y fue con dos amigos, colocó el telescopio, fueron hasta lo más alto de una colina que tenían por allá, esperando a ir en contra de la dirección de la lluvia, pero no, la lluvia no dejó de aparecer, no dejó de cesar. Y dijeron, ya, ok, vamos a colocar el telescopio, vamos a observar el cometa Halley, vamos a esperar a que algo bueno pase. Y esperaron, se mojó todo. Claro, estaba lloviendo.
Tato, y cabe recalcar ahí cómo llevó el telescopio, porque lo puso sobre el auto en el rack para llevar, porque él nos cuenta que también él practicaba surf. Entonces él tenía este rack para las tablas de surf y puso el telescopio arriba y cuando empezó a llover se mojó todo. Se mojó todo el telescopio, empezó a pasar el agua.
Y ahí fue donde nos empezamos a reír. Porque igual montaron el telescopio y aunque estaban empapados, completamente mojados, se quedaron igual y esperaron. Y aunque nadie sabe cómo pasó, Nadie sabe cómo pudo haber sucedido, pero justo se despejan las nubes en un momento ideal donde Scott pudo observar el cometa Halley en el año 1985.
Claro, las nubes dieron la ventana exacta para poder ver y nada más que eso, solo en el espacio para poder ver el
Entonces,
cometa.
es un similar a lo que le sucedió a mucha gente, sobre todo a Cari, con el eclipse del año recién pasado, 2020, en la Araucanía. ¿No? Mucha gente iba a ver el eclipse, todos emocionados por ver el eclipse, pero se pone a llover, se pone nublado, o sea, no solo nublado, sino que neblina, imposible de observar en ese momento. Pero ellos esperaron, tuvieron paciencia, igual lo intentaron, igual tomaron fotografías, igual tuvieron la experiencia de poder ver el eclipse. Entonces la invitación aquí a todas y todos los que quieran iniciarse y los que estén trabajando en astronomía, ya sea profesional o aficionada, es a ser constantes, a seguir, sin importar el clima, sin importar el lugar. Ustedes pueden, si se quedan, si persisten, va a haber esa pequeña oportunidad y la van a tener que aprovechar.
Pero si no lo intentan, no saben si van a poder finalmente conseguir el resultado de poder ver ese evento astronómico, más aún si es uno de una sola oportunidad.
Exactamente. Nosotros vamos a tener el cometa Halley en cuánto. Todavía nos quedan varios años para el cometa Halley. Todavía nos quedan no tantos años con respecto a eso para ver otro eclipse total. Pero son pequeñas ventanas, son pequeñas opciones que nosotros vamos a poder tener para observar el cielo, para observar esos pequeños regalos que nos da el universo a nivel astronómico. Exacto. Okay, Scott.
Okay, so that is about this is the 1980s, and from here I apply to work. I want to go beyond working in a store where I'm selling telescopes. I want to work for a telescope manufacturer, and so I apply to work at Celestron and to Meade Instruments. I put in my application to both companies at the same time. And
which companies was?
Celestron and Meade Instruments. And Meade Instruments hired me the next day.
No.
I see a message here from Javier Navarro. He says, greetings. I have several Explore Scientific eyepieces, and one of my telescopes is Explore Scientific. They're great. Thank you very much. That's very nice. So I start working for Meade Instruments, and this is in October of 1986. For Meade Instruments, I did many things. I was a technical representative answering questions about technical aspects. I did telescope repair. I developed Meade's first website. And then I worked in Asia. I worked in Asia for 6 years building small telescopes for Meade Instruments. I had many adventures with this company. One of the adventures was in 1991, there was an amazing eclipse. And this eclipse was going to go over Hawaii, over the Big Island, Hawaii, and then go down to Baja California in Mexico. Okay. This eclipse would last 4 minutes over Hawaii and 7 minutes of totality over Baja California. Not 30 seconds, not 1 or 2 minutes, 7 minutes of totality.
Wow.
Very long time.
And this is a time when the sun is at solar maximum. So the sun is erupting and is doing some amazing things.
Wow.
Anyways, I was invited to, there is a science television show in the United States called Nova. I don't know if you see Nova in Chile, but it's very famous here in the United States. And I was invited. Sorry?
Let me interrupt you a little bit, but we got might be the translation or the not the Chilean version of Nova, but in Chilean channels, the public Chilean channels, in the 90s, until 93 or 5. We got in Chile the doublet version of Nova.
So let me
Translated
see if
to
I can find
Spanish.
a television show for you. This is
So in the Nova show, you got hired to see
I was not hired. I volunteered.
you volunteered. Okay.
For the clips.
For the eclipse, and they put me on a professional eclipse team and to film. Okay, this is before they were making documentary films on film. Okay, it wasn't video. Okay, and so we are shooting 35 millimeter and 70 millimeter film, movie film. So you can imagine a big 70 millimeter high resolution. Okay, and we are on Mauna Kea Observatory Complex in Hawaii. And we filmed the eclipse, and we were successful in capturing this eclipse. It was an amazing time. During this time, I'm so excited because, you know, I'm just an amateur astronomer. I'm not a professional astronomer, okay? I did not study astronomy in the university, okay? I just loved it, and I studied by myself, okay? Yeah. So I am meeting, during the time that I'm with the camera shop, and then also at Meet Instruments, I'm meeting astronauts. I'm meeting scientists, space explorers, professional astronomers. I'm going to observatories, okay? It's an amazing, I almost cannot believe I got to experience this, but many amateurs can do this. And in Chile, you can also do this because you have some of the most amazing observatories in the world, you know? Oh, yeah. Right? Maybe both of you have been to CTIO or some of the other La Serena, you know, La Silla, I don't know, these other observatories. I imagine that you have, okay? Well, because professional astronomers, they love to work with amateur astronomers, okay? They love it. And there's many opportunities for professionals and amateurs to work together, okay? This is not true in other fields of science. For example, I cannot be an amateur brain surgeon. I cannot do that, okay?
No.
Sorry.
That would be dangerous, no?
It would be dangerous, right? If you were into diamonds, gems, okay? And yes, you can study some small gems, but you could never study the Hope Diamond, okay? That's impossible. Yeah. You would never get this opportunity. But as astronomers, amateur astronomers get to study the same things that professional astronomers study. Yeah. And that's what makes amateur astronomy so special, is because you can become involved with professional work. If you want, you can do research. If you go to conventions and you travel a little bit, you can meet amazing scientists and you can meet amazing astronauts and this kind of thing as an amateur, right? So my experience, and I will let you explain this part, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Please.
Vamos a traducir, pero vamos a tratar de hacerlo rápido para poder entrar también a la presentación de Scott. Nos contó que después de lo que pasó del cometa Halley, él quiso empezar a trabajar con telescopio y postuló a Celestron y a MIT. Y en MIT lo contrataron el día siguiente, inmediatamente. Así que empezó trabajando como representante técnico de la marca y después desde MIT lo enviaron a trabajar a Asia, donde tuvo 6 años trabajando construyendo telescopios pequeños. Y justo pasa, no recuerdo bien el año que dijo, pero que fue un eclipse total que cubría desde Hawái hasta, ¿cómo se llama? Bajo México.
Sí.
Sí, hasta allá. Y durante este eclipse se generó otra oportunidad ¿no es cierto? Que era que era lo que contaba ahora el Pato también, de un programa de televisión estadounidense muy famoso, que era un programa de televisión de ciencia, se llamaba NOVA. Eso el Pato ahí hacía el símil con el programa que hubo chileno también.
Además, no fue, más que un programa chileno, fue como la versión doblada de Nova, doblada al español, que se dio en algunos canales, pero no fue en los canales como oficiales de la época, sino que estoy hablando de canales más discretos. Pero sí, de hecho TVN en una época, al igual que Canal 13 y otros canales de televisión chilenos, tuvieron una época en la que hacían programas de ciencia, pero si es que no los hacían, algunos canales lo que hicieron fue comprar parte de los derechos de Nova y transmitirlos acá en Chile doblados, ¿no? En lenguaje latino, por así decirlo.
Claro, y para terminar lo que nos contaba, bueno, acá Scott está entrando ya en materia con un poco el tema de hoy día, que es esta filosofía que él tiene tras la observación de estrellas. Esto es como la base para llegar a este punto, porque lo que nos cuenta es como la importancia del astrónomo aficionado y de todo aquel que quiera aportar en esta ciencia que es la astronomía, ya que, bueno, en este programa de televisión él estuvo ayudando con los rodajes que grabaron en 7 milímetros, tremendo, y en 35 milímetros, que salió todo perfecto.
Muy alta definición, pensando en la época.
Exacto. Y después de esto, bueno, él empezó ya a tener, y él nos cuenta que gracias a todo esto que ha construido, porque todavía no hemos llegado al final de cómo llegó a fundar Explorer Scientific, pero lo que nos dice es la importancia del astrónomo aficionado y que no se da en otro tipo de ciencias, ya que lo que nos decía, vamos a ver más, de que no puede existir un cirujano aficionado.
Claro, no puede haber un neurocirujano aficionado, no puede haber la única profesión en la cual tanto los aficionados como los profesionales coexisten, conviven y generan investigación y van a congresos y hacen todas estas cosas, es en la astronomía. Así que astrónomos profesionales, astrónomos aficionados coexisten y se enriquecen mutuamente porque comparten la misma pasión.
Exacto, y destacar eso, que Scott no es astrónomo de profesión. Él dice, yo lo estudié por mis medios, me apasioné, lo estudié y soy un astrónomo aficionado, pero sí tengo relación con astronautas, con astrónomos profesionales, con observatorios, con otros aficionados, con gente que solamente ama mirar el cielo.
Exactamente. So, Scott.
Oh, okay, so some of the highlights really is you remember that I was 9 and 10 years old. I just turned 10 years old when the Apollo 11 landed on the moon. So yeah. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin walked on the moon. They had a successful mission, and my mind was blown. 10 years old. We have men on the moon. We're watching it live on television. It was incredible. It was incredible. I cannot describe the feeling of this. Okay. And when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins came back, they went on a tour around the world. They were almost overnight the world's most famous people. Okay, because they had traveled to the moon and successfully come back. And this was an enormous amount of inspiration for young people, because we felt like, okay, we went to the moon. Humans can do anything. We can do anything. We can fly to the moon. We can explore what we want to explore. It seemed like there were no limits. Okay. And that is actually true. There are no limits.
There are no limits, of course.
We put our best people on a project, and we can accomplish many amazing things. And it's done all the time. I mentioned earlier that we have astronauts in space 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. Yeah. We are a spacefaring species. Just, as a child, I lived during a time when we were not a spacefaring species, but now we are. We occupy near space. We are about to start to colonize the moon and eventually go on to Mars. And this will happen. This will happen.
Of course.
So
It's like
during this time, I, at Meet Instruments, I am introduced to Buzz Aldrin. Now you can imagine if I had told you when I was 10 years old that I was going to meet Buzz Aldrin, my friends would just go, "Oh, that's impossible. That would be impossible,"
But now,
but
now you can show us some proof.
Okay, this is a picture of when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins just returned from the moon. They're in quarantine, in this trailer on the USS Hornet, which is a ship that my father also was stationed on. He wasn't stationed on it at the same time, but that's Richard Nixon there, and he's talking to the astronauts. And down below here is me with him.
Buzz Aldrin.
In his home, and we have become friends over the years. And I've done moon parties for him, showing his friends the moon and the stars with the telescope.
Wow.
Yeah. And Buzz's nickname for me is Starman.
Yeah.
He recently returned his telescope to me. Okay.
No.
This is a special telescope I made for him. And you can see there's a special plaque on here.
Yeah.
It says Moon Explorer, Buzz Aldrin. And the face mask, I don't know if you can see this. The face mask looks black. Okay.
Yeah, we can see that.
It is a piece of lunar meteorite.
No.
And so
that's a lunar meteorite.
Wow.
Yes.
Right there.
So the picture that you see.
That's amazing.
Yes, the picture that you see here. This picture is that telescope. Right there.
Same telescope.
Same telescope.
Wow.
And so I'm cleaning it for him right now and realigning the and I'll be sending it back to him. But he loves.
Let me show you how many wows we have only this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's still counting. Still.
Rodrigo, I know Rodrigo.
Are writing right now. How amazed are they?
Yes.
With those stories that you tell us.
So it's wonderful, and so
still going.
Wow. For me, this kind of thing is a gift, but I know. I'm no one special. I just I love the stars. I love space exploration. And I'm not afraid to reach out and ask someone a question. Even if they're very famous, I will write them a letter, or I will call them. I've called many famous people, and sometimes you cannot get through to them because they're too busy. Okay. Yeah. But sometimes they answer the call or they answer the email.
Yeah.
And they know that you are interested in what they're doing. And so many times they take the time to share an experience with you. And that's the kind of guy that Buzz Aldrin is. He's now 91 years old, but he is still someone that I still communicate with, and these people are always learning. They never stop going to school or teaching, or Another one is Story Musgrave, the astronaut that fixed the Hubble Space Telescope. He and I sometimes chat, Story Musgrave is in his 80s. He's still, even in his 80s, was looking to get yet another PhD. Okay.
Another.
You're 80 something years old. What are you going to do with the PhD? It's not so you can get a better job. It's so that you can expand your mind. That's the important.
It's only because you love.
Because you love it.
Because you love it.
You love it.
Wow, that's amazing, Scott. But sincerely, this is wow. I'm still amazed. Still processing.
Yes. Oh. So that's what you and Carrie are doing. You know, you're here live on a program. You're sharing your experience and your love for astronomy.
Yeah.
And you know, thank you for inviting me to come and talk about it. But you're doing wonderful, beautiful things. You know, thank you. You know, I know that in your country you have many people that are very, very interested in astronomy. I think it's part of your heritage, so part of your culture.
Yeah, we might have a cultural depth with astronomy. It's our job, it's our duty as
yes.
Aficionado astronomers or professional astronomers or science teachers or physics teachers, like many of the guys in the comments, to inspire people.
Yes.
In the astronomy world,
we have this life. We have to use it for good.
Yeah.
Right.
With a great power.
Yes.
Comes a great responsibility.
So I always compare it like it's like when a person see for the first time the ocean. It's exactly the same. What you can do, showing them the stars. When you can get them to see the stars for the very first time, even if they live in a very good night sky, but to watch it with other eyes, with new eyes, recognizing what they're watching, recognizing the distance, is all that is our duty as in, how can I say it, in astronomy disclosure.
Yes, that's right. And those are points about my presentation. We're going to talk more about that because it is really, really important. Okay. Because it changes people's lives.
Yeah.
It changes people's lives.
Let's start with that.
Okay. So now I will talk about Explore Scientific. I worked for Mead Instruments for 21 years and had many amazing experiences. I learned how to build telescopes. I learned how to design telescopes. And this was a great part of my life. But in 2007, I realized that I needed to fulfill a promise I made to myself. And this promise I made to myself is that I would start my own business. And so because I had worked in Asia for a number of years, I knew a lot of the telescope makers in China and in Taiwan. And eventually I arranged a partnership with a Chinese company named JOC. And they agreed to work with me to design better products, you know, to make a product to my specifications. And so I worked with their engineers, and to this day, this has now been over 10 years. I started the business in 2008, and we're now we had a fabulous year in 2020, and the company's still growing, and So it's been an amazing time. In 2020, we started doing a lot of broadcasting like you're doing right now. And so we've had global star parties. We've interviewed scientists and space explorers and amateur astronomers and astrophotographers. It's been really amazing. But that duty that you're talking about, Carrie, I feel also that we have this duty. We make telescopes, but the community that buys our telescopes, I owe it to them to support them too, you know? So maybe I've talked too much right now, so you can translate.
No, it's
No
okay.
worries.
We can translate that. If you want to start, Cari.
Dale. Sí, bueno, volviendo un poquito atrás de lo que nos había contado, nos seguía comentando de cómo él lo marcó a los 10 años la llegada del hombre a la luna, fue lo que le hizo explotar la cabeza y eso fue lo que marcó el antes y el después y finalmente este camino de él en la astronomía aficionada y finalmente forjando una carrera en astronomía. Bueno, nos contaba de lo impresionante que es que en esa época se fascinaban con la llegada del hombre a la luna, pero hoy en día ya estamos hablando de la colonización de Marte. De que ya tenemos astronautas los 365 días del año en órbita. Entonces, esto es lo que a él es uno de los móviles que tiene, el seguir viendo hasta dónde podemos llegar, el cómo el hombre ya puede lograr todo lo que se propone. Y ahí nos cuenta que durante su tiempo trabajando en MIR, conoció a Buzz Aldrin, nos mostró las fotos también con Buzz Aldrin.
Gran foto.
Tremenda foto, Buzz Aldrin, para los que no saben los nombres, uno de los 3 astronautas que hicieron el alunizaje, junto con Neil Armstrong y Michael Collins, ¿no es cierto? Sí. Y nos muestra la foto y también nos comenta de que muchas veces nosotros no nos atrevemos a hablar con alguien porque es más famoso. Él nos dice, yo no soy nadie especial, pero yo les llamé a todos, les escribí y claro, no todos respondían, pero a veces respondían y Buzz Aldrin era una de esas personas que le gustaba compartir esta pasión en conjunto con otras personas que no eran tan conocidas obviamente como él, y así compartieron. Sigue tu, Pato.
Bueno, y ahí nos deja como la gran enseñanza, a fin de cuentas, de que no hay límites para la humanidad después de todo esto. Quizás uno de los nuevos retos que se vienen, ya sea la colonización de la Luna, la colonización de Marte, es nada más ni nada menos que el resultado de todos estos años en los cuales Scott estuvo presente en cada uno de esos hitos y pudo ser parte de esa historia. Y eso también nos ayuda a todas y todos a que podamos seguir también parte de ese camino. A fin de cuentas, la astronomía es una pasión, es algo maravilloso que puede llegar a cualquier persona, a fin de cuentas.
De hecho, ahí él hablaba del tema de hacer un doctorado no por ganar más dinero, como claro, tal vez hoy en día sí se ve cuando uno hace un MBA, sino que hacer el doctorado en este tipo de ciencia, en estos caminos de la ciencia, es para aprender más, es para ampliar la mente, no para ampliar la billetera. Entonces son ciertos sacrificios que uno hace.
Que, claro, mucha gente hace postítulos, MBAs, doctorados, PhDs, como ustedes lo quieran llamar, por una cuestión económica, lo cual está bien. No se está diciendo que es algo malo, al contrario, es una excelente oportunidad de seguir aprendiendo, pero no perder el foco de que lo que se está haciendo acá, sobre todo cuando se habla de astronomía, o de las cosas que nosotros hacemos en general, es para poder enriquecernos intelectualmente, para seguir aprendiendo, para seguir amando lo que nosotros estamos aprendiendo. ¿Ya? Y creo yo, I believe that we can start with your presentation, Scott.
Sure.
Because this is a big chance to do this all reflections.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have many stories, you know, I mean, from about 1980 to now, okay, there's many stories, and many adventures, and it's not over. It still continues on, and I still love it, you know, so And Rodrigo Zeleda, who's also watching this show right now, is he's one of our dealers for Explore Scientific. He has been on many of our global star parties, and he is a great astronomer, and he's serving your country's amateur astronomers very well. So he's a great astronomer himself, and I thank you for all of that, Rodrigo.
Rodrigo
Okay.
Celada.
Rodrigo
Yeah.
Celada.
Yes.
Otro enamorado de las
North
estrellas.
Office. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Sí, Rodrigo Celada. De hecho, actually, Rodrigo was another guest that we have in a program that we used to do last year.
Yes.
Yeah, showing the people that loves the stars and also want to take the stars to other people to start motivating other people.
Yeah, that is astronomy outreach that we like to do. Okay, so I will start my program. Now I will give some introduction to the program. Okay. One of the, there are astronomers who are mostly interested in astronomy gear. They love all the parts and the telescope and the optics and the cameras and the eyepieces and the technology. Okay.
Yeah.
But there are other people who love the beauty of the night sky. They feel that maybe some spiritual connection with the stars, and I think that no matter what telescope you have, whether you have a baby telescope like this, or you just have your own eyes or a pair of binoculars, you can have the experience to understand the power of stargazing. And the power of stargazing is how it's good for you. It's good for your health and your mind. And so I'll start the presentation now.
Mientras tanto, podemos hacer una pequeña traducción de lo que nos mencionó Scott recientemente. Hay muchas personas que les gusta la astronomía, ya sea por el equipo, ¿no? Por los telescopios, los binoculares, las cámaras, los observatorios y toda la tecnología que hay detrás. Pero hay también muchas otras personas que están emocionadas y están maravilladas por el cielo mismo y por todo esto que nos puede ofrecer el poder de la observación astronómica, ¿ya? El poder observar las estrellas. Y de esto nos va a hablar ahora Scott Roberts. So,
yes,
we can start.
So I want to thank all the people who allowed me to use their images, including Carrie Latelia. Is that correct? Is that how you pronounce your last name, Carrie?
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's good. Okay. Some beautiful images, and to me, her images represent the magic of observing the stars, and so they're a perfect companion for this kind of this talk. Okay, so but the things I want to talk about it's not the equipment that we use, but it has to do with the human condition. And as humans living in society today, we focus mostly on our own lives, our own problems, our own small world. And the more that we do this, the more that we worry, the more nervousness that we have, the more stress that we have. It emphasizes being self-centered and eventually leads to selfishness.
Yeah. And
these are just some of the problems that we put upon ourselves. These are human created problems. And they can eventually give you problems to your health and to your mind. Many people who live in the cities that have all the luxuries. They have the car, they've got food, they are on a home, they have many, many things, but they are nervous and they have anxiety and they have depression. And to relieve that negative state of mind, many people turn to alcoholism or drugs or do things that are self-destructive somehow. They don't take care of themselves and they don't connect with nature. And, you know, but in reality, our problems are that seem so big in our lives are insignificant on the cosmological scale. But just telling ourselves that your problems are small compared to the whole universe doesn't give people comfort. They need to know. They need to know it for themselves. They have to experience it for themselves. So my message is that we possess the power. We possess the power to turn our attention to contemplate the universe that we live in. And by doing this, some big changes can happen in you. Your whole life can change by doing this. Another beautiful image by Carrie here, which I think is perfect for this message. You know, developing a relationship with the universe through stargazing and studying current astronomical science can lead you to greater scientific literacy, to help you find peace, tranquility in your mind and in your heart, and to give you a sense of wonder. In doing so, these things can actually prevent illness, and they can increase mental and physical health and give you also a sense of belonging. But you have to understand some concepts first. I'll let you translate at this point.
Kari, can you start it?
I can go back to the slides.
The first one, please. That one. Kari, you're muted.
Sorry. So, entonces, lo que nos cuenta acá Scott es que esta charla va en sus reflexiones acerca, ¿no es cierto?, lo que hablábamos de la observación de estrellas, y lo que nos dice es que primero nos basamos en lo que es la condición humana. Nosotros en nuestra condición humana estamos generando mucho egoísmo, individualismo, ya que estamos totalmente enfocados a lo que son nuestros problemas, lo que son las cosas más banales, cosas puntuales de cada uno de nosotros sin mirar hacia el lado, y esto escala a un nivel social, es un nivel de sociedad. ¿Qué es lo que pasa con esto? Es que se desarrollan muchas enfermedades como la depresión, la ansiedad. Entonces, lo que nos dice Scott, next please. Lo que nos dice Scott es que nosotros tratemos de poseer el poder. No, in this one, I'm okay. Tratemos de poseer el poder, de tomar el control, de poder contemplar el universo, y de esta forma nosotros vamos a poder generar, next please. De esta forma nosotros vamos a poder generar una relación con el universo, pero es algo que tenemos que hacer nosotros. De hecho, da como ejemplo una frase muy repetida, que es la de que los que son pequeños comparados al tamaño del universo son tus problemas, ¿no es cierto? Tus problemas son nada comparado a esto. Sin embargo, esto tú no lo vas a hacer parte tuya, no lo vas a apreciar realmente si es que no generas tú una relación con el universo. Habla incluso de conexiones muchas veces ya de otros niveles, que hablamos de conexiones más personales, más espirituales, pero él lo que dice es esta relación generando entrando a esta corriente científica astronómica donde podamos empezar a ver el cielo realmente y podamos tener un sentido de admiración, podamos empezar a maravillarnos, pero solamente desde nuestros propios ojos. Es muy difícil que solamente con quien nos lo diga lo podamos lograr.
Sino que tenemos que ser parte de la observación, a fin de cuentas. Si nosotros como individuos somos capaces de observar el cielo, podemos generar este vínculo con todo lo creado, a fin de cuentas.
Exacto.
Okay, Scott.
Please.
Okay.
Please.
So it's very important to develop a personal relationship with the universe that we live in. And so, but how do you do this? Okay. Well, first off, I would say that you have to learn gratitude. Okay. Now, gratitude is, you know, something that people are taught to be polite and to say thank you if they get something, or you know, there is etiquette that people have. You know, you get a gift, you say thank you. Is that gratitude? Maybe not. Okay, it's just something nice to say. But if you focus on something like the gratitude that you might have to your mother, okay, without your mother and your father, you wouldn't exist. Okay, but this is also true about our son. And this is something that many people take for granted every day. You wake up, the sunshine is out. You don't think about the sun as a star, or that the processes of the sun are the most important thing going on in your life. But the sun is the most important thing going on in your life. This is true. And our sun is just one of hundreds of billions of stars in the Milky Way. It's very special to us because it's the right size. It's the right distance. And the sun has been stable for a very, very long time, millions of years, okay? Will be stable for millions of more years, billion, you know, even a billion years. And but life on Earth and all the wonderful things that you know in your life, all the special things, would not have ever happened if we did not have this sun. So you can start to understand why some prehistory peoples worship the sun, okay?
Yeah.
And I would say that while you don't have to worship the sun like it's a god, okay, our planets are the children. They are the children of the sun. And, you know, it keeps us warm. It allows us to grow our food. All the complexities of the sun that created our planet are there. And so it's really a miraculous, wonderful, amazing thing. And so I encourage astronomers to think about the sun and to study the sun if you can, if you have the right kind of equipment. But, you know, and then if you think about the sun would not exist without the Milky Way galaxy, okay? And our galaxy would not exist without the universe. So you start to make these connections. And so you need to think about this long enough that you really can feel some gratitude about and feel thankful that these conditions exist. Because the fact that you're alive and you can listen to this presentation is all possible because we have a sun, we're the right distance away, all the incredible combinations of things that have come together for us to live our lives in this moment right now. Mm-hmm. I think you should translate this part, Kari.
Bueno, no, en mi caso puedo traducir. Acá lo que nos habla principalmente es que nos invita a tener un cierto sentido de gratitud, más allá de la gratitud hacia nuestra vida o lo que hacemos en general, es el sentido de gratitud con respecto a nuestro lugar en el cosmos. Ya, la gratitud con respecto al universo en general. ¿Okay? Mucha gente piensa que el Sol es simplemente una estrella más o es aquello que simplemente nos da luz, pero gracias a que el Sol tiene la masa correcta o la masa precisa y nuestro planeta está a la distancia que lo permite, es que puede haber vida en nuestro planeta Tierra. Y si pensamos un poco hacia atrás, claro, la vida en la Tierra es gracias a nuestro Sol, pero nuestro Sol está ahí gracias a la Vía Láctea. Y la Vía Láctea se permanece ahí gracias a la formación del universo. Por tanto, hay tanto que reflexionar y tanto que agradecer respecto a nuestra existencia, que uno de los elementos que puede ayudar a comprender nuestro lugar en el cosmos es, ante todo, tener un sentido de gratitud. Did I say right, Cari? Still muted.
Sorry, no. I was saying that it was perfect translation. I think you cover everything.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay,
Because gratitude, having a true sense of gratitude, is really one of the first steps to change your life. If your life is not going well, okay, and you think that all these problems that you have that have made your life so terrible, okay,
yeah,
you've forgotten the sense of gratitude. And so you have to be reminded. And observing the sun and studying the sun and being thankful for the sun is a good first step to generate gratitude. Okay. When the Apollo astronauts went to the moon, in fact, all the astronauts that have been to space, they are all amazed at seeing our blue planet, the Earth. When they see it from far away, they realize that the Earth is the whole thing is alive. It's not, we've got living things in it or on it. The whole thing is alive. And this is something that has really changed astronauts' minds about how they view the world. And the photos that they take, unfortunately, do not completely convey the experience. But stargazers and astronomers can have this same effect, and it's called the overview effect. And we get it when we see the rings around Saturn, or that we see a distant galaxy through the eyepiece, or that we see an amazing display of meteors or a comet, okay? All of us that have done astronomy outreach, the star parties you have given, and the people that see these things for the first time, like Carrie was talking about, it is changing their lives. So if you have the gratitude, and then you have the experience of the overview effect, this really starts to change things, okay? And that's what we're after. We want to evoke a positive change and try to make our lives more and more positive all the time. And astronomy is one of the ways to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna translate.
Yeah.
Bueno, lo que nos dice Scott es que si tu vida no está yendo muy bien, tal vez te estás viendo ahogado con muchos problemas, que muchas veces sientes que tal vez solamente te están afectando a ti, has perdido un poco el sentido de la gratitud, este sentido de la gratitud con el sol, lo que contaba antes de las condiciones para que tú puedas estar en este momento haciendo ese análisis de todos los problemas que estás teniendo detrás también. Y más allá incluso nos lleva a contar sobre un efecto que se llama, es el efecto perspectiva. ¿Y de qué trata? Cuando los astronautas viajan por primera vez al espacio y ven la Tierra desde lejos, es cuando generan este como ya cambio de un poco de nivel, un cambio de equilibrio en la forma de ver las cosas, en la perspectiva en que están logrando ver el resto de su realidad, ¿no es cierto? Y que no pueden volver después atrás. Esto es como ya abrir la cabeza a una nueva forma de ver las cosas. Y lo llevamos desde esta perspectiva, valga la redundancia, desde la perspectiva de ver el espacio, ver el cielo. Y lo que nos dice Scott es que muchas veces también esto lo podemos lograr, y es lo que hablamos antes, viendo a través de un telescopio, cuando vemos por primera vez los anillos de Saturno, cuando logramos hacer radioastronomía y escuchamos Júpiter, escuchamos tal vez los sonidos de los anillos de Saturno, o cuando vemos la Luna por primera vez con un telescopio. Todo esto nos abre los ojos y nos genera este cambio de perspectiva de la vida, donde finalmente vamos a lograr encontrar ese cambio que estamos buscando como para poder ser más felices. Y una herramienta muy útil para poder generar este cambio de perspectiva es la astronomía.
Y esa foto en particular, la que nos está mostrando con este overview effect, es el hecho de que cuando uno está mirando la Tierra desde lejos, muchos astronautas o personas que han viajado al espacio ven a la Tierra no como un montón de partes que la compone, sino que es todo un solo organismo viviente. No se piensa ya en el individuo, sino en el todo lo que representa nuestro planeta. Y es una de las cosas que se puede presenciar o se puede percibir cuando nosotros hacemos astronomía, cuando observamos el cielo, cuando observamos una galaxia distante. Ahí contemplamos en cierta manera este efecto, este overview effect, ¿no?
Sí, el efecto perspectiva era al final el que lo estuvimos buscando con el Pato estudiando antes. Es un poco esta analogía que hablábamos antes de cuando una persona ve por primera vez el mar o el océano. Cuando logras ver las estrellas, aunque las tienes sobre tu cabeza todas las noches, pero cuando las ves con este cambio de perspectiva, ya de verdad va generando un cambio interior. Por eso nos dice que ocupemos la astronomía como una herramienta para poder abrirnos, para poder generar este cambio.
Lo que nos dice la profe Eli, ¿no? Como un punto azul pálido, según Carl Sagan.
Yeah, one of the comments in here, Scott says that it's just like Carl Sagan says, that the Earth is like a very pale blue dot.
Yes, and there is the pale blue dot. This is the photograph that Carl Sagan asked the Voyager team to take when the spacecraft was millions of miles out into the solar system. You know, the other scientists argued with Carl Sagan about this photograph because they said it had no scientific value. But it is, in fact, one of the most important photographs that humans have ever made. Because in this image is the pale blue dot. That's our Earth out there, suspended in space.
Millions and millions of kilometers away.
That's right. And we need to spend time to contemplate this, okay? Because on that dot, as Carl Sagan has said, has been every war, every couple in love, every great story, every leader, every
achievement,
rock star, everything has happened on that small dot in this photograph.
Yeah. In just that teeny tiny blue dot.
That's right. Where are we? Where are we on this teeny
we can
tiny
see all of our story.
Yes, everything.
All of our achievements, all of our failures, all of our family, friends, enemies.
Everything.
All of our philosophy, all about all of our way to see the life itself is in this teeny tiny, so tiny blue dot.
Yes. As astronomers, we can turn our telescopes to Mars or to Saturn or to Jupiter. And yes, even in our telescopes, even our big telescopes, it still looks very small because it is so far away. But looking at this world so far away gives us a special perspective, okay? And you need this fresh perspective. You need to look at the universe in a way to help you understand that your problems are not so big and how important you might think you are, whether you're the leader of a country or, you know, someone super famous.
Yeah.
This is a very small thing. This is a very small thing in comparison to our universe. And you need to understand this, because without gratitude, okay, without this kind of perspective, you are losing yourself. You are not able to bond with the universe that you are part of. And so this disconnection that we have, this illusion that we make for ourselves, you know, you can imagine some terrible leader destroying the lives of so many people because what he thinks is important, okay, is really not so important. What is important is that we are taking care of each other. And we're helping people understand, because we are living in the golden age of astronomy. We are living in a golden age of science.
Yeah.
And we as animals, because we are animals, okay, are awake enough and have learned enough to start to explore the whole universe. And that's what we're doing. But we have to, in order to change and to go to the next step that is going to be so important for humanity, we have to go through these points. So, you know, when we explore the stars, we're confronted with, you know, the nature's incredible size and scale and age. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we start to learn also that, wow, okay, well, the sun is giving us energy. Okay. We can go outside. I can feel the photons warming my hands. Okay. I can see the light. I am very, very dependent upon the sun. So this goes through all the food chain, all of nature's interdependence that we explore here on Earth, and we are learning about on Earth. You know, but we are, in our greed and our desire to have more, we are destroying what the universe has created for us.
Yeah.
This paradise in space, which is on the pale blue dot.
Matter of fact, is the only place and we are living also.
Of course. Now we are starting to live in space. We have in orbit around that pale blue dot, but even at this distance, we could not see the orbit of the International Space Station.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Quizás para efecto de traducción, todo lo que significa tener una nueva perspectiva respecto a nuestro entendimiento del universo nos lleva a tener un pequeño toque de humildad, a fin de cuentas. Ya, esa foto tomada por el Voyager 10 nos muestra lo pequeños que somos, a fin de cuentas, y todo lo que significa que cada uno de nosotros alrededor del mundo, todas las cosas buenas y no tan buenas, todas las alegrías que hemos tenido, todas las penas que hemos pasado, están en ese pequeño punto pálido, azul que está ahí. Entonces, todos nuestros problemas individuales y colectivos, por muy grandes que sean, se sitúan justo ahí, en ese pequeño puntito azul, lo cual nos lleva también a entender que somos una especie que coexiste con el mundo, con el universo, Y esa misma coexistencia, esa interdependencia, nos tiene que hacer tomar conciencia o tener una nueva perspectiva con respecto a cómo cuidamos nuestro planeta. Y ahí es donde entra todo lo que es esta educación ambiental, educación sostenible, todo lo que implica elegir buenos líderes, justo pensando en que todas estas personas influyen, todos influimos en ese pequeño y pálido, azulado puntito.
Ahí como complementario al Pato, un poco del final de lo que decía acá en esto de la nueva perspectiva, que lo realmente importante finalmente es eso, como coexistimos todos, lo importante es cómo nos preocupamos entre nosotros, de nosotros, hablando no solamente de relación humana, sino que relación con naturaleza también.
Claro, no preocuparnos, ocuparnos.
Exacto.
Ocuparnos de nuestro planeta, de nuestra coexistencia. Okay, Scott, you keep going. You can keep going.
So you spend some time looking at the Milky Way and viewing other worlds through our telescopes. Many people say that they feel very small, very humbled. They get this feeling, and I know when I have visitors with my telescope and they start to say these things, I know that some change is starting to happen. They are starting to feel very small, very humble, like they feel like they're almost nothing. Okay? They feel like they're almost nothing. And what happens is this feeling of how self-important they are starts to slip away.
Yeah.
And they are starting to change. And when this happens, now their minds are starting to open up. Their mind is not so hard anymore. It's more flexible. It's starting to open up. And they are starting to really explore. And they're starting to really learn something. Yeah. Even if they haven't learned anything in a very long time. Okay? So this effect, getting this fresh perspective can work on people of any age, of any culture. And it's as simple as taking people through small steps to understand their place in the universe. Yeah. But now we need to reconnect these people to the universe that they are part of. Mm-hmm. Now, I will read this. This is a quote from Apollo astronaut Edgar Mitchell. He said, "There was a startling recognition that the nature of the universe was not as I had been taught. I not only saw the connectedness, but I felt it. I was overwhelmed with a sensation of physically and mentally extending out into the cosmos. I realized that this was a biological response of my brain attempting to reorganize and give meaning to information about the wonderful and awesome processes that I was privileged to view."
Wow.
This is Edgar Mitchell's description of what was to become called the overview effect.
If you let me,
yes,
Scott, I want to translate this quote. La cita que ustedes están viendo ahí, estoy sintiendo este efecto de sobrecogimiento, a fin de cuentas, porque lo que nos muestra acá es cómo nos sentimos conectados. Y es el hecho de que podamos observar las estrellas, un reconocimiento de que la naturaleza del universo todavía no está hecha. ¿Ya? No solo hemos observado la conexión que hay con nuestro universo, uno la siente. ¿Ya? Y ese sobrecogimiento viene con una sensación que no solo es física, sino que también mental, acerca de cómo nos expandimos alrededor del cosmos. Ahí uno se da cuenta que es una respuesta biológica, ¿no?, de parte de nuestro cerebro, tratando de reorganizarse y darle sentido a esta información tan asombrosa que tienen el privilegio de observar, ¿no?, desde fuera de la Tierra. Esta fue una cita del astronauta Edgar Mitchell, tratando de explicar este efecto, donde no sé si ustedes, los que nos están viendo ahora, Cari, pero no sé, uno lo ve, uno lo siente en este momento. ¿Y puedes decir tú?
Sí, yo creo que es lo que nos mueve muchas veces a dejar todo por seguir tratar de sintiendo esa conexión, creo que es la única forma de poder explicarlo, de cómo dejarlo todo por esta fascinación finalmente con el cielo, de entenderlo, de conocerlo, porque no solamente sentarse a mirarlo, es entenderlo, pensar en ello, en todo lo que conlleva el que las estrellas estén ahí, el que estén y nosotros estemos aquí, las condiciones que se den, te cambia la perspectiva, pero totalmente de todo. Se extrapola a cualquier otro aspecto de tu vida.
Okay, Scott.
Yes.
Please.
Okay.
Please keep continuing.
So when people tell me that they feel very small and insignificant when I'm showing them the cosmos and showing them the Milky Way and maybe Saturn for the first time through the telescope, and they feel very tiny and very small and insignificant, I tell them, yes, your body is very small, but your mind is as vast as the universe you can comprehend. And if they start to understand that they are now, if they start to feel the connectedness with the sun, you can start with the sun. It's a star. You move out, it's in a population of stars, the whole Milky Way. This is its family, okay? And we are moving through space at unbelievable speeds.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable speeds. And now you, in just moments, if you take some people that have never experienced this before, you can watch them have the overview effect. You can see them change right before your eyes. Astronomers who love the sky and who have bonded with the sky experience this every time they go out and do astronomy.
Mm.
So now we have to make this perspective. We need to deepen this experience, okay? And we do that by learning about the science behind it and the reasons behind it, and we start to put it together. Remember, we are living in the golden age of astronomy and science. We have telescopes in space. We have major observatories all over the world.
Oh, yeah.
And we have millions of amateur astronomers studying the sky. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? We're doing this to reconnect with the universe. So this is a nice illustration. It's a model of our galaxy, the Milky Way. It's our home.
Yeah.
And our sun is in the center. You can see the Orion spur and you can see the sun. But at this scale, our sun and all of our planets are too small to see as an individual dot. The Milky Way galaxy, with hundreds of billions of stars, moves through space at 2.1 million kilometers per hour.
That is so fast.
We are spinning around the center at 792,000 kilometers per hour.
Wow, wait.
Speeds, this is the current numbers in science today. They will be revised over time as we learn more about how fast we're moving. These numbers will change.
Yeah.
But the fact is that we are moving through space at incredible speeds. It's not a concept. It's reality. And what's also a reality is that we are moving to a new part of space on our spaceship Earth all the time. We're traveling through space at unbelievable speeds all the time to a new part of space, a place we've never been before, amongst hundreds of billions of other galaxies in our universe.
Cari, ¿te gustaría hacer la traducción de esto?
Sí, bueno, lo que nos dice es que de un poco antes de esta nueva perspectiva que tenemos que generar, tenemos que ahora entrar a ahondarla, tenemos que entrar a entenderla mejor, ¿no es cierto? Y, a ver, que me voy poniendo notitas porque tengo memoria de Dory. Pero lo que nos da como ejemplo es incluso el ver la velocidad a la cual nos estamos moviendo en el universo. Y para mejor ejemplo, él se sitúa en lo que es nuestra galaxia, donde estamos ubicados nosotros, que es la galaxia de la Vía Láctea. Ustedes saben que esta es galaxia espiral, donde vemos todos los brazos y el sistema solar se encuentra en el brazo de Orión. El brazo de Orión se mueve a una velocidad de 792.000 kilómetros por hora, como para que vayan dimensionando cómo además esto se extrapola a la velocidad con que la Vía Láctea se va moviendo en el universo. Entonces, cómo no nos damos cuenta, de repente hablamos de retrasos, hablamos de tiempos perdidos o de dar demasiada importancia a cosas donde no estamos viendo este comparativo a una escala tan grande que casi no podemos incluso percibir. Ese Pato ahí, para que me complementes.
Bueno, de hecho, ahí ya nos está diciendo que nuestra galaxia per se, con todos los miles de millones de estrellas, con todas estas miles de millones de estrellas, se va moviendo alrededor del universo a 2,1 millón de kilómetros por hora. Ya estas velocidades se van revisando a lo largo del tiempo. ¿Ya? Y una de las cosas que deben quedar claras es que esto no es meramente un concepto o una teoría, esto es algo que está pasando ahora, es una realidad. ¿Y eso qué significa? Va a significar entonces, por conclusión, de que nuestro planeta Tierra es nuestra nave espacial, que viaja alrededor del universo en estas enormes velocidades, no solo alrededor de la Vía Láctea, sino que alrededor del universo, dándonos la oportunidad, y si es que no el privilegio, al ser astrónomos, ya sea profesionales o aficionados, de poder en cada momento observar algo nuevo, en cada momento encontrarse con algo diferente. Entonces, la astronomía nos hace parte de que en cada momento, en cada instante que observamos nuestro cielo, podemos ir profundizando cuál es nuestra perspectiva respecto al lugar que ocupamos en el cosmos. Oh, sí. Wow.
Okay, so when you tell people that we are moving so fast and that we are in a galaxy that is, 100,000 light years across and has hundreds of billions of stars, even to tell somebody that about light years, how far light has traveled in 1 year, I remember in miles, it's 5.9 trillion miles in 1 year. Okay. That's how fast light is traveling. And now we have to measure our home in the distance of light years, and it's 100,000 light years across.
Yeah.
Okay. Some people, they will say they can't, they go, oh, those numbers are too big. I can't understand. I can't. It hurts my mind to think about this.
Yeah,
the reason why it hurts your mind is because you are thinking about your small world, your little world, okay? Your job, your neighborhood, the argument you had with your sister. small things is what you're thinking about. Okay. And that makes it very difficult for you to understand that you are connected to the earth. You are connected to the sun. The sun is connected to the Milky Way galaxy. The Milky Way galaxy is connected to the whole universe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is why you are, one of the reasons why you're suffering is because you have not allowed yourself to see the big picture. But you live in it. You are there. This is our reality. People ask, is there life in the universe? The answer is yes. It's right in front of you.
Yeah, I can.
It's right in front of you.
Yeah, sure.
All the time.
I agree with that.
Okay. So now we have to talk about the wonder of creation. Now, for some people, this is a very spiritual type of conversation.
Yeah.
For a scientist, they can explain it through the process of a star-forming nebula, through the processes of fusion in stars. But scientists still don't know what energy really is. They can explain many things about it, but they don't know what it is. They can't tell you exactly what gravity is, okay?
Yeah, that's a big one.
These weak forces that happen are, they give you a sense of wonder, okay? It's miraculous. You are getting now a sense of wonder. And so stars are in a constant cycle of creation. They're born from a cloud that is collapsing because of gravity. Mm-hmm. And the more the dust and gas collapse, they form stars and planets. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, what's going on inside the stars, all the atoms, mostly light elements like hydrogen, okay? So you get two hydrogen atoms squeezed together so tight inside the middle of the star that they fuse together. And when they fuse, they create the next heavier element. So inside of stars, they are creating the elements: calcium, iron, gold, all the elements that you know about on the periodic table were formed inside of stars, okay?
Yes.
Except for maybe the lightest elements, which would be hydrogen, helium, and a little bit of lithium. That's what they found in the early universe.
Yes.
All the range of complex elements that we are still finding new ones, okay?
Yeah.
Are formed inside of stars. And so this process here, you see a star forming nebula. We have a very large star, okay, that can be formed, or a small star like our sun. The small star like our sun will die a relatively quiet life. When it dies, it will become a planetary nebula. And it will push the outer layers of its atmosphere and all of its complexity. All the elements that it made are now being pushed out into space, okay? Mm-hmm. Or it was a very big star. It used up all of its fuel and it exploded into a supernova, again, hurling all of its materials, all of its complexity out into space. It reforms again into another star-forming nebula, but now it's richer. It's more complex because it has all those elements in there, and it makes new stars that have more elements in them and can form planets that are more complex.
Even richer.
Richer and richer. That's what's happening. Is it's a creation destruction cycle that's constantly evolving, okay, making it richer and more diverse. And so I've heard that our sun is a 4th generation star. We had 3 supernova events that created so many different elements so that we find iron, lithium, gold, name it, calcium, all these elements on Earth, they were formed inside a star. And these elements,
time.
yeah. And so this is what I've heard. Okay, that number may have been revised, but that all of these elements are in our bodies too.
Sure.
Oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus. All these elements are in our bodies. They were made from stars.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, everything else that's in front of you, your house, your car, everything, the materials in it were made inside of a star.
In our case, for a fourth time.
In our case, maybe the fourth time. Yes.
How many new elements maybe we made after a new generation of stars about us?
Yes.
That is the amazing thing, and carry that we can count it down when you see the stars.
Yes.
You see those.
You are made.
Data.
You are made of star stuff. You really are.
Yeah. Every one of us.
This is why I believe this is one of the reasons we have an instinct to explore the stars.
Sure.
Because I believe it's because we are made from stardust. What other explanation do we have?
Like Jesus Melendez right here. So we are made from stardust. Thanks to the stardust, we are here talking.
Yes.
About our cosmic relation.
That's right.
And it's a real relation. It's not just
real.
that.
It's not just a metaphorical or metaphysical.
Exactly. Like a cliche that people says, no, it's real. It's
real.
It's a fact. And and we have to deal with that. We are made by those dust.
Yes.
You can see, that dust is it's dust. But thank you to this dust.
So even the three of us right now having this conversation with your audience, the more you start to think about this, can you remember any of your problems that you have right now?
Not really.
Not really. Right?
I'm feeling like a Pumbaa in Lion King.
I mean, unless your audience is ignoring us, then the people ignoring us are still focused on their problems. But the three of us are engaged in this conversation. We're thinking about it. I haven't left my office yet to go look at stars. I have clouds right now that I cannot see the stars, but I can still understand it. I can still remember. Okay. And so these moments that I've had to look at the Milky Way, to go to CTIO and see the southern Milky Way was mind-blowing to me, okay? To see your beautiful Chile. Mind-blowing.
You're welcome anytime to be here in Chile, CTIO or any other observatory.
I will come back. I will.
And we will speak to you.
I will. But this process of stars fusing lighter elements to make heavier elements is called nucleosynthesis.
Yeah. Yes.
And we are children of several supernovas.
Several, definitely. A fin de cuentas, now I'm going to do this translation.
Okay.
Cuando hablamos de una conexión cósmica, no se habla de una conexión cósmica figurativa, metafísica, superflua, sino que simplemente cuando nosotros analizamos de qué está hecho nuestro cuerpo, de qué están hechas las cosas que hay en nuestro planeta, de qué está hecho el universo en general, nos damos cuenta que es simple y llanamente polvo estelar. Es gracias a un sol, gracias a una supernova, gracias a un montón de supernovas, gracias a un montón de reacciones nucleares, ¿no? Estas síntesis nucleares que se han dado gracias a la gravedad, que seguimos sin saber qué es, ¿no? Pero nos deja la oportunidad de entender cómo nosotros exploramos las estrellas o cómo nosotros somos parte de las estrellas. Es gracias a nuestra propia composición, ¿ya? Nuestro cuerpo ya per se tiene oxígeno, carbono, hidrógeno, nitrógeno, calcio, fósforo, potasio, sulfuro, sodio, cloro, magnesio, entre otras cosas. Y todos y cada uno de esos elementos fueron creados gracias al polvo estelar, gracias a la explosión de una estrella. Entonces, en un nivel fundamental o el mayor nivel que nosotros podamos entender, es que a fin de cuentas estamos conectados con el universo, ¿ya? Estamos conectados del universo porque estamos hechos gracias a él. Gracias a esto, a fin de cuentas.
Claro, y el proceso, un poco lo que decía el Pato y lo que dice ahí en el texto, es un proceso que se genera dentro de la misma estrella, que se llama nucleosíntesis, donde finalmente con elementos más livianos se van uniendo para generar elementos más pesados. Por eso es que realmente somos de polvo de estrella. Exacto. Eso es lo que decimos, que es un hecho.
Claro, no podemos discutir con ello. Es así. ¿Ya? Okay, Scott.
Yes.
We can
focusing on these things now we can't pay attention to our problems anymore because our mind has already changed. There are synapses in our brain. We are actually really changing our brain even while we're having this conversation.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes, I love this.
I love this picture.
I love this picture. Okay. You can see everybody is happy. They are out under your Milky Way. So this now your mind has opened a little more, and your curiosity is now this is a natural thing that we all possess. But curiosity for humans is a very necessary part of survival. We have to be curious about the food we eat, how we live, all these things. Every action involves curiosity. Exploration is an innate part of the human condition. We are curious, so we explore. And then when we find something, the discovery is the fuel, okay? I found something. Now I'm more curious and I need to explore more, okay? And the more you explore, the more you discover, and so on, and it keeps going, okay? This is the learning process. But now you know that you are connected to the whole universe. And the more you are curious about this and the more you explore this, the more you're going to discover about this. And
at last,
with gratitude, and by being humble, because you do not think you're the biggest thing in your world.
Yeah.
Right?
You
don't want to hurt other people. You don't want to, there's many things you don't want to do. You become almost like the young child who will share anything and does things from their heart.
Yeah.
And the more you're doing this, the less depression you have, the less anxiety you have, the less stress.
When you put that picture earlier, I remember that
Oh, this one.
That one. Even if many of us might think that they don't need to have to know everything.
No.
They don't need to discover more. You have no idea how impossible is for humanity to be not curious.
Yes.
The curiosity and the need for exploration, the need for discovery, is a part of our mankind.
Yes.
It's in all of our story as human beings. So even if you cannot feel the curiosity or the sense of discovery, I'm sure that every one of you have a little bit of curiosity.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And you see in this picture, all the people in this picture are in love.
Yes.
With the curiosity and
Yes.
discovery.
Yes, and personal exploration and personal discovery is very important, because this is your life now.
Yeah.
And you won't have maybe you never get another chance unless you take the chance in the present time to reconnect. Yeah. It would be a real shame for people to live their whole lives in nervousness and worry and desperation, or to be selfish their whole lives. What a waste.
Yeah, definitely. We must translate that, or we can keep going.
Please.
Just a little bit to say, un poco de lo que nos cuenta ahora Scott, nos dice de que la curiosidad viene siendo el combustible que alimenta cómo vamos avanzando también, y cómo esto, seguimos hablando de cómo nos va a llevar a generar este cambio interior. Pero un poco más atrás creo que quería destacar lo que había dicho de muchas veces, el comentario que le dice la gente de cuando se sienten pequeños, cuando están haciendo observación por telescopio, le dicen, me siento tan pequeño, tan ínfimo, como ahora viendo el universo, viendo las estrellas, y lo que él les responde, no les responde lo que son pequeños son tus problemas, sino que lo que les dice es, tu cuerpo es el que es pequeño, pero tu mente es la que puede llegar a ser gigante, y va a depender de ti los límites que les vayas poniendo. Entonces, ahora hablamos de ya llegar a la curiosidad y la exploración, en el sentido de que ya abriste tu mente, ya lograste sentar ese efecto de perspectiva, y ahora lo que tienes que hacer es seguir agrandando esto, compartirlo también, seguir tratando de descubrir, y lo mismo esto, extrapolarlo a varios aspectos finalmente de tu vida.
Claro. Y esa foto es especial, aunque no lo crean, para todas y todos los que nos están viendo y oyendo, es porque es una foto nuestra. Es la catch en los campamentos de astronomía. Es la catch en la ruta Antacari. Es de lo que nosotros vivimos, es nuestro combustible cuando vamos en pos de la curiosidad. Todas y todos los que están en esa fotografía tenemos un cuerpo pequeñito en comparación con el universo, pero nuestra mente no deja de crecer porque seguimos curioseando, seguimos explorando, seguimos yendo un poquito más allá. Okay, Scott.
Okay. So, people that have done a lot of stargazing and amateur astronomers, they will tell you that a quiet night of communion, and when I say communion, this is you spending time really letting the starlight soak into you, and to let your mind explore the wonder of the Milky Way, and to release all of your how do I say it? You know, Patricio, when you first meet people that are visiting your telescope, a lot of times they have a persona, you know, the person that is meeting the new person, okay?
Yeah.
And they have like it's like a wall, okay? And but if you have them out long enough, and you have shown them the sky, and you have let them explore the universe with you, they start to ask some questions like, Patricio, do you think there's life in the universe? Patricio, I feel very tiny. I feel very small.
Tell me about it.
Right? And at this point, the real person is now talking to you, okay? Not the persona anymore. It's the real person talking to you.
All the walls are
they
down.
melt away. They melt away, okay?
Yeah.
And stargazers and astronomers will tell you that this quiet night of communion under the stars reduces their stress, and it improves their mood. They're happier. Their stress is melting away. Their mood is building up. They have forgotten all their problems. And scientists who have made studies of people who spend time experiencing nature have measured that your blood pressure goes down.
Nice.
And your stress-related hormones also go down.
Yep.
And this is very, very good for you. Okay, this is very good for you. This can, if you are, if you have
I'm
been,
pretty sure that Kari and me feel the same right now. Our blood pressure is down.
yes,
All of our stress levels are very, very down.
very down.
And we have so much endorphin and dopamine
Yes,
right now.
that's right.
So thank you, cortisol, to show us the universe.
Scott, I have a question for you.
Sure.
How you deal when you're doing this, showing people by the telescope the stars and trying to make them change the perspective they have, right? What do you do when this person is afraid about the enormous universe, the huge universe, and feels afraid about it?
This is a common condition, okay? This is a common condition. And I think that, Carrie, you're asking me this question because you've experienced this problem. And not yourself, but when you show someone else and they go, oh, they see a falling star, and you say, yeah, we've been hit by asteroids before. We've been hit by comets before. It could destroy an entire country, okay? Big enough, could destroy all life on Earth. It's happened before, okay? But this is what gives us life. So in this situation, I talk to these people more gentle, okay? And I don't try to, as someone that is with the telescope and I'm showing them the sky, I don't try to tell them that I'm an expert, because I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm someone that has had my own experiences, and I'm sharing my experience and what I know, but I'm not trying to be superior over them. I'm not trying to tell them, I'm not trying to impress them with what I know. And that is a trap. That's a trap into. They learn some amazing things. Now they think they have this incredible knowledge, okay, that someone else doesn't know, and they feel that they can now be superior over them somehow. This is a real problem, okay? The real fact is that the most amazing geniuses of the world stayed curious, stayed humble. Okay.
Yeah.
If you went to go talk to Kip Thorne, for example, who was very good friends with Stephen Hawking, and he's one of the guys who invented the LIGO reactor. He is very humble.
Yeah.
And you know why? It's because he knows he knows that there are so many more questions. He is faced with so many unanswered questions. And that makes you humble as well. So as astronomers, we have to be gentle with people who are learning this process, because we too had to go through that process. And our goal is to help them reduce their blood pressure and to make them forget their problems. So I would say that you go gentle with people that are afraid, you know, and make them feel comfortable and show them some really beautiful and amazing things through the telescope. That changes people's minds too.
Yeah, indeed. Cuando algunas personas tratan de observar el universo y no logran comprender todo lo que pasa en ello, muchos miembros de las comunidades astronómicas, con muy buena voluntad y disposición, demuestran que el universo es vasto, es enorme, lo cual nos genera un cierto sentido de gratitud y también de humildad. La posibilidad de observar estrellas no es solamente un hecho de que podamos alimentar nuestra curiosidad, sino que está en estrecha relación con que si observamos el cielo, si observamos las estrellas, incluso hasta podemos cambiar nuestro estado del ánimo. Se ha comprobado mediante diversos estudios que algunas personas, cuando pasan tiempo observando la naturaleza, el universo, las estrellas, pueden reducir su presión sanguínea, reducen su estrés, son capaces de generar mayor endorfina, la famosa hormona de la felicidad, perdón. Sí. Del mismo modo, aprendemos también a ser, lo vuelvo a decir, humildes con respecto a esto. Mientras mayor conocimiento tenemos del universo, más humildes debemos ser con respecto a él. Porque al lado nuestro van a haber algunas personas que no tengan ese conocimiento, que no tengan ese dominio. Así que nosotros, en nuestra humilde posición en la que estamos, debemos mostrar esto con sencillez y con gratitud. ¿Ya? Porque aquí nadie es superior a otro por el solo hecho de saber más. Cuando nosotros sabemos más, es porque más humildes debemos ser. Y ahí nos da el ejemplo de Kip Thorne, ¿ya? Los que algunos lo conocen como el físico que ayudó a la película Interestelar, otros lo conocen como el líder del observatorio LIGO, otros lo conocen como el ganador del premio Nobel, también relacionado con ello. El tipo tiene muchos premios, altamente galardonado, pero sigue siendo un tipo humilde. ¿Por qué? Porque se dio cuenta de la vastedad del universo y todo lo que eso implica. Creo que marqué casi todo.
Sí, que mientras más vas conociendo, más vas aprendiendo, más preguntas van surgiendo, y eso también es lo que hace que se mantenga humilde. Entonces la premisa, dice Scott, es mantente curioso y mantente humilde.
Exacto. Okay,
Please, Scott.
Please. We want more. Sorry,
there is more. So now that we've looked through the telescope and we've explored the cosmos and we've thought about this, now it's also important to look at everything and its connection to the universe.
Yeah.
Whether it's this flower that you're seeing here, some small insect, a drop of water in a pond, you know, all the processes, everything is all possible because of all of our connections, our interconnected nature with the universe.
Yeah.
And it will change the way you see yourself, because now you don't feel lonely.
No. No, you're not.
And you're not afraid, because you know you are connected with the whole power of the universe. And this should give you courage to use your life to inspire care for each other and our precious planet.
Karim, can you...
Sí, bueno, que finalmente
Yes.
ya a través de la observación de estrellas, la exploración de esta actividad de hacer la observación de estrellas, podemos extrapolarlo a nuestra existencia local, es decir, ya podemos llevarlo a ámbitos más cotidianos, ámbitos más pequeños desde nuestra dimensión, nuestra escala. Es un poco eso, de que ya abriendo un poco la mente, podemos extrapolarlo a 1.000.000 de otros aspectos e ir haciendo incluso el comparativo en tamaños y escalas donde finalmente se van sucediendo los mismos procesos.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Scott.
This should be something that's very familiar to you, Patricia, and Carrie, is the Star Party experience. Many people feel that amateur astronomy is the gateway science, because anyone, people of any age, race, gender, education level, you know, you were talking before how much somebody might understand. They don't have to be the scientist, okay? The truth is looking in the eyepiece. They can see other worlds. And one look at a planet, seeing Saturn's rings, for example, can change your whole life.
Yeah. Yes.
Humans right now face some of the biggest challenges. We have climate problems. We have pollution problems. We have a pandemic. We have many things that we need to, you know, we have mass extinction of animals. We have forests, vast forests that are burning to the ground.
Yeah.
And we need to find the next scientist and the next Einstein, the next Kip Thorne, the next doctor that can cure cancer.
Yeah.
Astronomy is this gateway science and showing people how to open their minds, how to settle their hearts, how to find peace so that they can learn something new.
Yeah.
And not be afraid. This is the way that we will change our world. It is the way that we are changing our world. And I always ask, you know, will you join us to help inspire other people? Scott Roberts, you asked me who I am. I'm not a scientist, okay? I don't have all the answers. But I know that this through experience of seeing people's lives change by looking up at the stars and realizing how they are connected. It creates such a positive effect.
Yeah.
And this is why I've been doing it for so many years.
This is when you stay humble in the way that maybe exactly as you said, maybe you will encourage someone to get into, I don't know, astronomy or another science,
Yes.
that it won't be you. It's because you want to motivate more people. Your goal is not to be you, the
No.
one that made this change or this, I don't know, to win that prize.
Yeah.
It's
What
to
prize?
inspire others.
You look at the whole universe. What prize could you possibly win on the pale blue dot? You know, in comparison to all the universe that you realize that you've already inherited. You actually already own everything. You're connected to it.
Yeah.
Actually, something happened. Well, I have this very short story about this girl that got inspired in our club, in this community. Many years ago, she went to these camps that this community does, and it's an astronomical camp with many activities, star party every night, during the day, uh, astronomical music even, and astrophotography, and many, many activities to inspire people, families, complete families with child, their fathers, to inspire them with astronomy. And there was this girl that also participated with us in a program last year, that she got inspired in these camps and she decided to study astronomy. And one of the guys, she was a child. She was, I don't know, maybe 15, 16. And in this camp, she told to one guy of the camp, I decided I will study astronomy because I think this is me. This is what I really want. And this guy told her, you really? No, I don't think so. No, you're not made to study astronomy.
Oh.
And so
He said that.
in these days, she says, hey, listen to me. I'm already doing my master in astrophysics now. And she's also developing a research about it's galactic archaeology with a spectroscopy.
Okay.
And she's developing this research with many other researchers of around the world, other astronomers, and she's great at what she's doing.
That's great.
She's happy. She's fulfilled
Yes.
doing this.
Yeah, let's send some
Only
greetings to her.
because-
It's amazing. It's amazing.
That's because the first approach. I don't want to say this with us like astronomical community, but it's only because people like us show the public
Yes.
how amazing is
Yeah.
astronomy. Then some people said, "This is what I want to do.
Yes.
This is what I want to
maybe
live."
they become a teacher or a doctor or
Exactly.
you know.
But the astronomy is, like you said, the getaway entry.
It's the gateway. Yes.
The gateway.
Gateway.
The gateway.
Yes.
The first door in this amazing
Yes.
world and universe.
It's not the only door, but it is a wonderful. It is a wonderful
Much more
door.
accessible, maybe.
Yes.
It's more approachable. Yeah.
Yes.
More easy to see. You only look it up. Oh, up. This is stars.
Yeah.
They're cute. They're nice. I wanna do this. They become doctors, teachers, astronomers, astrophysicists, engineers. I don't know. Whatever they want.
Yes.
Science is not distinct gender, race, creed, religion.
That's right. So, I mean, obviously, one of the worst things that you can do is to discourage someone that is curious and wants to learn more, you know. But people do that, you know. It is a tragic situation, because you may be telling the person that will find the answer to a very difficult problem that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And they are somehow discouraged, or they are taught to be afraid, or, these things. So with young people, especially, it's very, very important that we are gentle with them, to help them learn more and to inspire them. This is about inspiration. Children are naturally curious and naturally want to explore and naturally want to discover things,
Yes.
and loading up people to teach them to worry and to be nervous and to have anxieties. And, these are big problems. And, anxiety and nervousness can lead to a heart attack. It can lead to strokes and, many illnesses, cancers, and all kinds of things.
Yeah. Yes.
So
I know.
To me, astronomy is a very special way, especially amateur astronomy is a very special way to lead people towards healthier life, to have a more open mind. And, there's just so many positive qualities about it that this is why it's important. And you, Patricio and Carrie, you both feel responsible to do this duty.
Wow.
Yeah, you have it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think many people listening to the show right now also have this duty. They feel it too.
Yeah.
And they do it.
Every day, many people around the world are compelled to this duty.
Yes.
So if you still asking, we will join us to help inspire others. My answer probably carries as well.
You have
I'm not
already
sure.
joined. You've already joined. We're doing it right now with this presentation.
We're doing this right now.
We're doing it
We're
right
saying yes from the beginning of this presentation.
Yes.
Let's just translate a little bit.
Yes.
Just a summary of what we've been talking. Un poco de que la humanidad, como humanidad, tenemos este desafío de tratar de inspirar a las siguientes generaciones para que aparezcan los nuevos o poder descubrir dónde están los nuevos científicos. Jamás tratar de bajarle las ganas o la motivación, especialmente a la gente joven, donde podemos tener al próximo Kip Thorne, podemos tener al próximo científico que encuentre la respuesta a alguna de estas preguntas que vamos, mientras más avanzamos, que mientras van apareciendo más preguntas, claro. Entonces, podemos tener al que dé la respuesta finalmente. Entonces, nuestra misión como humanidad, y más aún como astrónomos aficionados en la divulgación astronómica, exacto, en la divulgación astronómica tenemos esta misión de inspirar, de motivar y de entregar la astronomía como esta herramienta que va más allá de solamente el observar la estrella, sino que todo lo que esto conlleva detrás, todo el proceso, cómo se extrapola a todos los aspectos de tu vida.
La ventaja de la astronomía aficionada es que es una puerta de entrada a las otras ramas de la ciencia y hacia otras ramas del conocimiento. Por lo tanto, si mostramos esto a la próxima Vera Rubin, a la próxima Madame Curie, a las próximas personas que quieran continuar con el camino de la ciencia, la mejor ventaja o la primera puerta de entrada es la astronomía aficionada. Muchos astrónomos aficionados empezaron con esto y siguen un camino de la ciencia o de otras áreas del conocimiento, solucionando problemas de la gente, solucionando problemas del día a día. Por lo tanto, es nuestro deber aceptar este desafío de motivar a esa próxima Madame Curie, a esa próxima Vera Rubin, a esas próximas personas, esta nueva generación, para encontrar esas respuestas o hallar más preguntas. Entonces ahí está el desafío. Alguno de ustedes se une a nosotros a inspirar a las personas mediante esta maravillosa rama del conocimiento.
Pato, quería aprovechar de mandarle saludo a la Fran Espinosa, estaba contando su historia, que ella fue invitada en los
Sí,
diálogos de astronomía en
Fran.
la temporada Mujeres, hablando sobre la investigación donde ella está participando con espectroscopía para estudiar la arqueología galáctica, ¿no es cierto?, los orígenes de nuestra galaxia.
Exactamente.
Y que ella fue la que tuvo esta experiencia que en un campamento de la CACH dijo que había decidido, se había inspirado tanto que decidió estudiar astronomía, y un caballero en el campamento por ahí andaba este caballero no muy amable, le dijo, ¿tú vas a estudiar eso? No, no.
No es
Y
para
bueno,
ti.
la Fran está hoy en día sacando su máster en astrofísica en la Católica, con tremenda
Como toda una
investigación,
rockstar.
como toda una rockstar.
¿Mm? Así que eso sería con respecto a estas reflexiones que hemos tenido. I don't know, Scott, if you want to keep going. Now, maybe finishing
This
this.
is the end of the presentation. So I thank you for allowing me to be on your program and to talk to your audience. Thank you.
No, thanks to you for your time, for your reflections, for sharing all that with us.
It's great to share it with people that are also doing this. So you are your organization and the both of you here are doing a wonderful, huge service to your community, and that is, we don't know who is going to be the next person that will solve some big problems. Okay, but I think that for a moment here in our conversation, we were able to make the audience forget their problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Indeed.
Yes. And that little bit of help, is maybe makes them a little happier. I hope so.
I'm finishing this interview, all this dialogue,
Yeah.
all this conversation, even happier than I can possibly be.
Good. Very good.
And I hope, thank you so much for this, Scott. I'm really glad, because in a few weeks, I'm starting my classes with my kids at school.
That's great.
And I hope so much to deliver them all this happiness, all this joy.
Yes. We all deserve it. We work at our best when we're happy and our stress is lower, our fear is down. We do our best for others at that time.
Of course. So thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't know if Kari want to say something more.
No, I just want to invite all our friends that are watching to visit the website of Explore Scientific.
Okay.
Yeah, explorescientific.com, please.
Para quienes quieran visitar, además, la empresa donde pueden encontrar equipos de microscopios, telescopios, binoculares, de astrofotografía también, Explore Scientific. De hecho, él es uno de los proveedores de Neuroptics, de Rodrigo Celada, para que puedan...
Ustedes pueden encontrar toda la gama de instrumentos y post en general que se dan de astronomía y astrofísica, de telescopios, oculares, monturas, astrofotografía, microscopios, etcétera. Ustedes visiten explorescientific.com y estoy firmemente convencido de que van a encontrar cosas que les van a encantar.
And I'm going to recommend to your listening audience to find North Optics. They are our dealer. They're Explore Scientific's dealer in Chile. And I think that Rodrigo always gives the best advice for getting people started with their first telescopes. So
Amazing. Thank you for that.
thank you very much. Thank you.
Sí, Scott nos dice que NorOptics es uno de los distribuidores de los productos de Explorer Scientific, así que ya saben, con Rodrigo Celada pueden contactar a NorOptics y que aparte dan una asesoría súper completa. Bueno, yo por lo menos con todos mis amigos que hacen astrofotografía, Rodrigo, yo sé que sí, él es asesor en todos los aspectos. Si quieres comprar un telescopio, si estás empezando en este mundo o quieres empezar con binoculares, ojo, mucha gente no sabe que se puede hacer observación con binoculares.
Exacto.
Así que ya saben, pueden ver los productos que tiene acá Scott y ver directamente, o puede ser con NorOptics, ya saben, con Rodrigo que los puede asesorar.
Ahí tienen su información ahí por si necesitan hablar con él para tener una mejor asesoría. Muchas gracias por haber estado con nosotros, querida audiencia, durante estas 2 horas y casi 40 minutos.
No podía ser de otra forma al ser reflexiones.
De conversación, de esta posibilidad de maravillarnos con el universo. ¿Ya? Thank you so much, Scott. I'm so great.
Thank you. I'm very grateful. Thank you very much.
Grateful.
Thank you.
Well.
And also, Scott, we want to invite you, if you have time, tomorrow we're going to have another talk because we're celebrating our 10 years anniversary of our organization.
Mm-hmm.
And tomorrow we will have, let me share to you. Give me 1 second.
What time would it occur?
In our clock might be 7:30 or 7.
7. Yeah, 7. At 7.
So in your case, Scott, might be by around 3 p.m.
If yours is 7, I think we're 3 hours behind you.
Yeah, 3 hours. Oh, well, 4 p.m.
Yes, we have another program tomorrow. How late will your program run? How long?
All of our programs, all of our broadcasts are saved in our YouTube channel and Facebook page.
Yes.
So if you can't see that in live, you of course you have all our disposal the recording to this conversation about the challenges to explore Mars and the importance in Chile in the future space explorations by Tom Lee.
That's awesome. That's great. I will probably have to watch it in replay, but depending upon the schedule, I might be able to show up for just a few minutes. But I think it's probably best that because I have two broadcasts that I'm doing, one right after another.
No, it's okay.
Your program, and then we have the Global Star Party. We have the Global Star Party that's happening tomorrow night. So I think I should decline. Thank you. Thank you very much.
No,
and congratulations on your 10th anniversary. It's wonderful.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
We'll see you soon, everybody.
Dejar invitados a nuestros amigos que mañana tenemos nuestra charla en horario 19 horas, Chile. Tenemos los demás horarios ahí indicados también con Tom Lee, dirección de la Fundación Curiosity y de expediciones espaciales en la NASA, quien nos va a estar hablando, como ven ahí en el flyer, los desafíos para explorar Marte y la importancia de Chile en futuras exploraciones espaciales. Como saben, Desierto Atacama ha sido un punto clave para el desarrollo de estas simulaciones y estas investigaciones. Así que mañana, imperdible, con Tom Lee, vamos a tener ahí de presentadores a Rocío Lastío, Galleguillo, y Jonathan Monca, ambos también miembros del staff de la CACH. Y este programa, voy a sacar ahora el flyer, y este programa recuerden que queda grabado, lo pueden repetir las veces que quieran, y en YouTube pueden activar los subtítulos para poder ir viendo. No es 100% certero muchas veces los subtítulos, pero pueden activarlos para poder verlos. So, Scott, this program will be online in our Facebook fan page and in our YouTube channel. And also we discovered that you can get on your subtitles
Oh, okay.
on YouTube. It's not
That's nice.
too accurate, but it
But
works
not
very
bad.
well.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Okay.
thanks a lot for
Thank you.
your time, your
Thank you.
presentation, your
Thank
reference.
you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
Wow.
in name of all our organization. We're all overwhelmed now.
Thank you very much. And
Thanks.
have a good night. Thank you.
And we will be waiting for you in here.
Okay. When I come
To
back
go.
to Chile, I
You're
will.
in Chile?
Yes.
We will be there.
Okay. All right.
Bye.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Muchas gracias a todos. Un abrazo grande.
Muchas
Nos estamos viendo
gracias.
mañana.
Totales. Que les vaya excelente.
Bye-bye.
Adiós.
Bye, bye.
Bye.